Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkie with StartupTrading.com. It is 5 minutes till 9 a.m. Eastern Time on CPI and Powell Day, Wednesday, February 12th. So, of course, we're going to just had the CPI. It came in a little bit hotter than expected. And to be honest with you, it's still very close to the margin of error. Of course, this would all have to be on the high side, but we won't know for a few months basically whether this was really that hot or not, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But we will find out. But that's what the market's going to run with today is the only information they have. They're not going to speculate. That's the number that was printed. So, of course, Powell's going to be on the mic. He was on for what seemed like a short amount of time yesterday. Usually it's a little bit longer. So I don't know, whatever. But they'll post in the Jack's news feed that he set up in the Discord when he's off the mic, but you should kind of assume he's going to be on there until 1 o'clock Eastern uh, for 3 hours, and then if it cuts off earlier, it cuts off earlier. Uh, and then as we kind of slide down whatever the other news that we're going to have, right? We're going to have Bostic at noon, but is anyone really going to care what Bostic has to say after listening to Powell for 3 hours? And he's going to be on a little bit of an overlap with Powell's last hour anyway, so I don't expect a lot out of that. Tomorrow we're going to have PPI, and then Friday we're going to have retail sales. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing that's like a huge earnings mover, so if anything really rocks the market, it's going to be kind of a surprise. There are some, a little bit bigger ones there, but you know, they're there, so you can be cautious of when those reads come out. And of course, liquidity center before the market opens and after the market closes. So yesterday we spent all of the entire session basically between 5:25 and 5:30 on the Qs, but we've already printed down to 521.42 after kind of staying between 528 and 529 half most of the night last night. So there's going to be some traders that if they want long or if they want home long, they're not going to be happy when the market opens if it opens down here. So we also spent around 605 on the SPY. The SPY is already trading below 600 at 599.40. It's been down to 598.54 already, and the cash was between 60.50 and 60.75. You'd have to guess that we're right around just above 6,000 at this point on the cash. So that's of course going to be a milestone to watch. Uh, for structure for yesterday, the Dow had the signal prints above. It's got to be well below that at this point in time. So let's look at the you know, I don't think we're getting back up there, but for some reason, if Powell is jabbering and we get up there, 530 should be your wall at this point in time. The VIX would just have to be dropping like a rock, and that seems highly unlikely uh, that we can get up there. And the VIX continues just a one time frame down on every time frame you look at from 5 minutes to 30 minutes after that. So I think you're going to actually have a hard time getting and holding above 525 at this point in time. And 520 is a large gamma spot, right? So that potentially could be your floor this morning. Uh, we'll just have to see. And again, we got down to 521.40. So it would be around 57, 58 points under the overnight low that we have at this point in time was around where this 520 would be on the NQ. So keep that in mind. And then, we could just kind of bleed in a diver down scenario if we start accelerating with the VIX moving higher below that down towards 515. And then we'll have to, just check and see what happens. As far as the SPY is concerned, there's no way we're getting down there, but someone had some pretty good bets, and this is probably a floor that they had at 562 and 560. This would have to be just an utter collapse. That's another 400 points down from where we're trading right now on the ES. That's not happening today. If it does, we'll probably get locked out before that. And then looking at really the floor, your large gamma for today, which seems a little bit more has some potential, is 59.50 is your large gamma spot for today coming into the session. Uh, that would probably be around 60 points under where the ES is currently trading. I think that looks on the table. That would put us down about 120 handles for the day, or as I like to say, that would be a double down from here, which anytime you have a gap open, you should always assume that wherever that opening print is, whatever that gap is, that before the session ends, you could double that distance one more time because that's what the flush is, and that would get us right around this 59.50, and then you know that I think if we get down towards there today and you've wrote it down there, uh, no matter what happens after that, you should just be done for the day. You should not let greed get involved. Either that or just some runners that you really want to hold with a tight leash after that, or look for some very small, tiny trades. Um, but you do yourself a favor, I think, just to leave if we get down there and be done for the day. So looking at where we are at, we Friday's low for the for the NQ was 21,553 basically. We're about 30 points under that right now. So that's your flush. So the bottom of balance, which we could hit, potentially today because the days down seem to have a lot more force, especially on a reversal flush. So you're looking at, you know, this one time framing deal that I look at, not to do with any other technical analysis, but on a flush, you could get down to 311 to 160. That would be, a huge move down still from where we are at. But if you look at it, that's not much more than the double down. So that is on the table. And then as we look at Wednesday's low, uh, or Friday's low, I'm sorry, for the ES, you're looking at 123 quarter, which is right around where we're trading right now. I'm sorry. We're trading. I'm way off. We are. It was 60.41 quarter. Let me rephrase that. 60.41 quarter was the low from Friday. We're about 15 points under that at this point in time. So again, your first stop on the bus is going to be just under 6,000, like at 59.97, and then of course, all eyes will be on that low from the bell low from last Monday's session, and that's going to be, your bogey basically for both of these indexes. But you have to remember that the low from the previous Monday was lower for the Nasdaq, but not for the NQ. So that consider that your window of target from the low from 2 Mondays ago for the ES to the low of last Sunday. That's your ultimate bear wet dream at this point in time. So overnight action 75 points for the ES, and then as you look, uh, we already are at level fours for the Russell. That can just get smoked out early, and then we'll have to see if you get reversion or continuation. But we were very tight in the Russell yesterday, so these levels, if they're going to get blown out, this would be the day to do it. But you have to be aware that that level where you're pressing under for today is 22.43 basically. But I can see us testing 22.15.20 for the Russell. I can see us testing uh, for the Nasdaq. I can see us getting down to this 21,314 to 321, and then for the ES, the target is definitely going to be that would like to trade is between this 59.90 to 6,003, and then for the Dow, you're looking that the target would be down to, and this is just to see if we would like the auction above or below these levels, by the way, is 44,057 to 44,087. So keep in mind there's an auction that went off above these boxes and there's an auction that went off below these boxes, and these boxes are the decision point whether to see which auction you're gonna vacate into for price discovery. And then you should assume that there's potentially going to be, do we like it down here? Do we like it up here? Do we like it down here? And then a decision will be made. I hope this helps, but I would be looking for no longs until you see structure at the bottom, and it's probably just going to be, if you're wise, I think you would just at this point in time watch the structure forming bullishly from the bottom. Take your hands off the mouse, right? Sit on your hands until you see a retracement. You see structure start forming again on a swing high, and then short it back down towards the previous structure. I think that's your best bet. I'm just going to look for shorts today, whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent. That's what I'm going to do. So when we form a bottom, I'm going to be sitting on my hands until we form a swing high, and then I'm going to be trying to get in at that point in time. I hope this helps you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll see what Jack's looking at next.